Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in this episode, I'm going to be discussing my reaction to the return, or the 2026 return of Mock the Week, which we thought was never going to happen. But before that, I should mention I'm recording this episode on Monday, the 2nd of February, 2026. If you're listening to this episode, this won't be going out today, it'll be going out tomorrow, which is the day for you. I was doing a podcast update, talked about what you could expect from the podcast in February 2026. But yeah, as I mentioned at the start of the episode, which as it's only 30 seconds ago, I would worry if you'd forgotten. There's only a sixth return of Mock the Week, which was only announced a couple of weeks ago. There was rumours for ages. And then it was confirmed, I think, the middle of January, so only like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And if you go, Ben, what on earth are you talking about? I'm going to explain. So Mock the Week was it's a comedy panel show about mocking the news, hence the title, that was on the air, broadcast, there we go, between 2005 and 2022 on the BBC, which is like the big network in the UK, which has Doctor Who, Top Gear, or used to have Top Gear, doesn't have that anymore, because it's on hiatus. But what else does it have that you might know? Obviously, it had all the Doctor Who spin-offs on it as well. The Night Manager currently is on there, featuring Tom Hiddleston, who most of you will know for playing Loki in the MCU. So there's that. But yeah, kind of the big network, and then they decided to cancel it. I think the reason that they gave was because they wanted to give it to newer shows, was what they said at the time, which was odd, because it was just after the Queen had died. It was that long ago, and yeah, so it's been 3.5 years, or over 3 years since Mock the Week was back on. So before I discuss my reaction to it, I have got a few clips which hopefully aren't going to get copyrighted. They're only a minute long, so I'm sure we'll be fine. But here's the first one.
What were some of the claims made by Brooklyn?
The big thing that's come out is that apparently his mum was dancing inappropriately at his wedding, which is not shock news for a mum to dance inappropriately at her son's wedding. At my wedding, my mum was grinding up against Greg Davies for an hour. I don't know if it was like a bear against a tree. I see a little bit of a dance and my mum going, "I'll give you a task, master."
I do think it's mum's prerogatives at a wedding.
Yeah.
Like, my mum wore a white dress to my sister's wedding. And then when anyone asked why, she was like, "I paid for it, it's my day."
All photographs you see of Victoria Beckham, she's standing in that same weird way, where she's just ever so slightly. Do you know those toys where you
Oh, yeah,
like it's a rat,
yeah,
and
the
you press the
donkey.
button and it collapses. And she's like, someone's just pressed the button in just a tiny bit, and she's going. Take your thumb out. There we go.
So they played We Have All the Time in the World, and then she just stood there and just stood there doing decisive angles. Like, yeah.
I think it's great, because for years we wondered what zig-a-zig-ah means. And now we know it's give a lap dance to your firstborn.
He wrote it all on Instagram, didn't he? In like 3
Yeah.
Instagram
Do you think he
posts.
wrote it?
And I read it, and I just thought, I'm really pleased David Beckham can't read.
In other news, what's going on here?
That is Andy Burnham with a mug.
Are we done? You happy?
I know that Burnham wants to be Prime Minister, but looking at the two of them next to one another, I just don't know that the country is ready for a change that radical.
They really are chalk and another piece of chalk.
That was it. That was the whole welcome back bit.
Okay, I can do more welcome back if you want.
I just wanted to say I feel a bit bad for the viewers, because when they brought back Gladiators, they had fit, young, sexy new ones. They didn't bring out the old ones again. They were like, "Oh, who got out of the way? Oh, it's the same old
So,
guy."
Wolf, what are you on You get up in the net like, come on.
I do love that we have started as we mean to go on and go, yes, Trump threatening to invade Greenland. But more importantly, let's compare us to gladiators.
This is how long it's been. 15 years since I did the show. I was thinking about this. Last time I did it, Andrew was a prince. Philip Schofield was married. And Ghosting was getting drunk and trying to jump for a wall. And yet you still look the same.
I do. I look uncannily the same. Istanbul, baby, Istanbul. Every 6 months.
Farah looks exactly the same, but there's actually a portrait of a megabus decaying.
My favourite part of this whole story, though, is that the person that went on the news to sort of expose what the truth is was DJ Fat Tony.
Yeah.
That cannot be the arbiter of truth in a national news story.
Yeah.
Most people are judged by like a select committee or a jury of their peers. And this is introducing DJ Fat Tony. Boo, 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 boo. Victoria, guilty.
You can see him. He's not even fat.
Yeah.
No.
Can't believe a word he says.
I'm beginning to doubt the Tony thing. Yeah.
Is he now Monjaro Tony?
Yeah. Tony on the decks here.
Has Brooklyn not essentially given them what they want? I mean, they've always aspired to be the alternative royal family.
Yeah.
They sit on thrones and all that. And now their son has pissed off with his wife to America and left the family.
Yeah.
You can't get more royal family than that.
I think it's a heartwarming story of somebody gaining their independence, being able to turn to their parents and go, no, I don't need your money anymore. I've married more money. Money. Bringing the number of former ministers from Boris Johnson's government who've now gone from Conservative reform to 11.
Yeah, it's reform.
Yeah, it is
They're gonna reform the
because
Conservative Party.
Yeah. It's not reform. I've always read it wrong. I thought it was reform, but it's not. It's
No. To be honest, I find this kind of unacceptable because basically what happened is that everyone sort of ended up having a lot of contempt for the Tories, wanted rid of the Tories, and now those exact same Tories have just moved over to a different party and they're claiming that it's completely different and everyone knows it's exactly the same. Like, you can't just do that, right? You can't just get increasingly unpopular somewhere and then jump over somewhere else and act like it never happened, can you?
Hang on. Am I the Farage or the Braverman in this situation? Or the Jenrick? Who am I in this? And who are you, by the way, in this situation? No. People change, people grow.
That was a few clips from Mock the Week. Obviously, before I showed you those few clips, which hopefully don't get pulled down. I don't think they will, because they're only a couple of seconds long. They're not like 4 minutes long each. The kind of, there are a few differences between the original Mock the Week and now the Mock the Week reboot, which feels slightly weird to say. Speaking of weird, it now has adverts because back to the BBC. You might not know this, but basically the BBC is paid through a fee. Basically, if you're outside the UK, you basically pay to watch the BBC and live TV and iPlayer. If you want to watch any streaming services, you don't have to pay that, or any catch-up TV, but any live TV you do as well if you want access to iPlayer or anything on the BBC. So, yeah, that I found that, especially the first and second, but I was like, what? Because it'd been 4 years. Now, I was back to when it was first released in 2005. I was not watching Mock the Week when I was 1. I watched, I think, from about COVID onwards. So I think the last two and a bit years of it, which was what made it even more annoying when it was ending. It was just a bit odd, really. But the ad breaks were one thing, but they've got it right. Actually, they've got a mixture of rounds that they had before and new ones. So some of so there's Wheel of News, as you saw some clips of there. Picture of the Week, Scenes We'd Like to See, which takes place at the end. But there's also some new rounds, which one of them was audience questions, where they ask the audience questions and they answer them, obviously. And then another one, which I can't remember what the name of it was, but basically two of the panelists say the same story, but one says what the story is and someone translates it to what they actually mean, which I found quite funny. But also kind of the it's quite similar to the Neighbours reboot a little bit. Obviously, unfortunately, the Neighbours reboot kind of stopped after a couple of years, but hopefully that doesn't happen with Mock the Week. But yeah, there were again the panelists. So it's hosted by Dara Brin, who hosted it originally. All 6 of the panelists in this episode, the episode that was on last night on TLC, and if you haven't watched it, you can check it out on Discovery Plus. They're not paying. It's just that would be nice, but that is where it's available. It would be mean for me to go, oh, look at this fantastic thing, and go, oh, you can't watch it. Like, oh, I'm not going to tell you where it is. So they've got, and I think they've said that as the first few episodes are kind of people that we know. So there was loads of comments about Hugh Dennis not being on the episode. That's because he works, has a job and lots of acting and tours and things. So he's coming back, I think, in episode 3. But Rhys James is now a regular panelist who's going to be in every single episode. So, and we know that this first season on the TLC Mock the Week now on TLC will be 9 episodes long, which is nearly double the length of the final series on the BBC, because it was 5 episodes. It was meant to be 6, but because of the Queen passed away, because of the BBC, there were specific rules when a member of the royal family dies, which I didn't know about until it happened. There's only certain TV you can watch, and you can't can't be adverts, and there's loads of different rules because of the Queen being in reign basically, well, since I was 1952, which obviously was not when I was born, so all I knew was the Queen, and then when she died it was like, oh, this is interesting. But yeah, kind of, so I think I really enjoyed it. So just if you do want to check it out, it's Sunday night 9 p.m. on TLC, which there are a couple of jokes which aren't in there are about how to find it. I think it's channel 112. If you go onto your TV Guide, you can find it. But if you want to watch it later on, it is available on Discovery Plus as well, where you can also find The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, and the UK premiere, as they advertise it, of Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. It's basically home of the Big Bang Theory multiverse. If it has a proper name, please let me know. But let me know what you thought of the first episode of Mock the Week on TLC if you watched it. My reaction if you didn't. You can put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below. Remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe. Please continue supporting the podcast on social media, as well as listening and watching to the episodes. But without further ado, I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.